Check this out. Sit down. The lesson begins now.
We are live on the mic.
The crowd favorite, DJ Duss, is in the building.
Yo, what's up, man? I'm your host, DJ Duss. I'm here with my boys. Next to me, James. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, bro? What's going on?
Good, good. Last time I saw you were smoking. I see you now. You're smoking. Poor guy. It's either that or there's just a cloud around him. And then down there, her other boy, Jessie, man. What's up, Jess?
What's up, boys?
Oh,
What's
man.
up, Jess?
What's going on?
We haven't had a chance to come on. Everyone's been a little busy since we got back. But a few weeks ago, we ended up flying out to British Columbia, Vancouver.
Yep.
And then went and saw Jesse's cousin, Matt, in Chilliwack.
Big shout outs to Matt. Big shout outs to Matt.
Host, yeah, definitely a great host.
Sick host.
Did you know, James, that when we got back, did you know that we're absolute fucking jerks? That not one of us picked up his tab at the pub. That's the same face Jesse gave me when I reminded him. Like,
Oh shit! I was like, oh man.
bro, we didn't even buy his half price wings. We didn't even divide it by three. Half by three. We didn't even do that.
Sorry, Matt. I love you,
Matt,
brother. I'll make it up to you, brother.
Steak dinner on us. I swear to God.
Yeah, bro. Big time.
Because we were all zombie mode, right? So I was at home and I was thinking, I'm like, man, Matt, what a good guy, man. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my fucking God. We
steak
didn't
dinner for Matt and steak dinner for Toby.
Toby.
But so
my man.
So that Friday, right? So James ends up flying out earlier. So James, how was your flight? How was your trip on the way down to Vancouver?
The flight was good, Joe. That's my first time flying Porter from Ottawa to BC that far. I only did it once to Toronto, and it was so quick that you don't even realize.
True.
That was an awesome recommendation flight that you gave Joe to fly out there out west. So it was good. The flight was awesome. Getting to Vancouver was really cool. I'm gonna let you finish the rest of the story, and then I'll explain, I guess, my day.
Okay,
there.
so James, you landed. For people that don't know, he ended up leaving a little bit earlier than us.
Yes, I left in the morning. 7:55.
So we had like a 7:15 flight. Me and Jesse. So me and Jesse end up. I pick him up after work, and we go to our boy D's house and we have a barbecue. Our boy D lives like fucking 8 minutes from the airport. So
If that.
so it's perfect. So we go to D's. We start looking at time. We're like, all right, let's get going. You know what I mean? We got to get out there. Well, we get our bags. D drives us there, drops us off. Cars left at Darren's house, don't have to pay for fucking parking. Works out. We walk in, and there's a bit of a lineup, and they're extra slow. Like, they're just like, damn, man. There's one bozo on the left. He walks away. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, like, serve the line. And this lady goes, is this for Edmonton? I said, I don't know. It's Porter. I assume there's like 4 or 5 flights coming out of here. That's my assumption. So we get up to the thing. It's about 6:50, 6:55 max. We have 20 minutes. We can see our gate right there. We're like, no problem. Airport's dead. Security may take a minute. Give her names. She gets on the phone. She looks at us dead in the face and says, your flight's gone. And we're like, huh? And now I'm thinking, fucking James is like, all right, man, these guys are coming here soon. So I'm like, oh my God.
Like,
So
I was like, it's impossible.
So
What do you mean? Like, I couldn't believe
when
it.
I first land, I'm assuming I've got about 5 hours prior to you guys, 6 hours, and I kind of planned it out. Not to mention, I ran into one of my bosses in the airport, and he gave me the full breakdown because he's out west all the time. He gave me the full breakdown on what to do. Take the train and go down there, go downtown. Then you can go onto the park, and you can go to the port. And I started to do all that. I grabbed a bite to eat, and it was cool. It was downtown, busy, a lot of big buildings. You don't see too many mountains from downtown Vancouver. And then I got the phone call from Joe. And guys, gotta understand, Joe. I know Joe for a really long time. When Joe calls you and says, "James, you're gonna be mad," guys, listen. This is someone doesn't really give a fuck when anybody's mad. You know what I mean? So when he calls you and he tells you, "James, you're gonna be mad," I'm like, oh no. So I had a couple of other assumptions, considering the fact that it was Joe and Jessie at the airport. I had a couple of other assumbtions first. Nothing to do with smuggling or anything like that. I had other assumptions, though, that something else may have happened. And then he told me he missed the flight. And I looked right away at my watch, and I'm like, how is that even possible? Because I knew I was supposed to take that flight, so I knew what time it was leaving. And Joe explained to me what had happened. Yeah. So I you know what? I ended up getting dinner. I still walked around downtown Vancouver for a bit, so it was cool. I got to experience Vancouver itself.
But the thing is, we got to call you And we're like, yeah, don't worry, we're gonna get there. But technically, it was still technically a lie because we still had no fucking idea what we were gonna do.
Yeah, we were still trying to figure out how to get there. Like we're like, well, what the
Weren't
fuck?
you guys considering $1,000 flight or something?
Yeah.
Shit
At one point, it was $1,000 flight
each.
one way.
One way.
With air. Screw you in the ass, Canada. Oh, you want to get somewhere? In the ass.
And it wasn't even going to get us there.
And
that
you sit
much
on a
faster.
stick. 'Cause that's how bad you get fucked the whole way there.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys now that I
Pogo
know
stick.
Matt, now that I'm cool with Matt, if that ever happened again, I wouldn't care. You guys would have.
But that's what I'm saying. We knew chill Matt, and I was like, yo, bro, like maybe if you meet him, you'll see. But I was just like, fuck, we were totally screwed, right? So I'm sitting back going, okay. And she kept trying to redirect us from Ottawa to Toronto, Ottawa to Toronto, Ottawa, and she'd be like, we're gonna oversell Toronto if you want to give that a shot. And I said, what does that mean? Doesn't sound positive. What is
Explain.
She goes, well, we oversell the flight. And if someone doesn't show up, so I'm like, hold on. So I'm going to be stuck in Toronto. So I'm further down. I'm like, I'm not even coming towards you. I'm not heading towards you at this point. I'm going, this is stupid. I'm like, no. She goes, oh, hold on. She types on the computer. Remember this, Jess? I got good news.
We're like,
Out of Toronto, we have one ticket.
one ticket.
I was like, I wanted to strangle this little fucking broad. I'm like, you idiot. There's two of us.
What else? What else did she offer you guys again?
It doesn't matter.
Hotel.
No, it's not even there yet. So she's like, we don't know. We can probably go to Toronto and leave at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool, but we need to be there tonight. So the whole nother night, that's a day wasted.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what about Montreal? Do you have something out of Montreal? She checks it. Yeah, there's lots of seats out of Montreal. Cool. We're like, okay, that's what we're doing. Like, okay, give us. She prints out the tickets. She goes, do you guys need a hotel? And Jessie goes, where? Here? She goes, yeah. He's like, we live here. He goes, but we'll take one in Montreal, obviously, right?
Yeah.
She gets on the phone and goes, no. No. Fucking useless.
Isn't it the same thing? No, they got to spend, right?
Like, I'm like, you're going to be here or there. You know what I mean? Like, so we're like, okay. So
probably get a cheaper Montreal.
Now,
and then we
this
could
gets
hear.
better, though, James, because we're walking away with the ticket, and Jessie goes, I'm thinking in my stupid brain that we're hopping in our car and we're going to Montreal. And he goes, bro, but we're landing back here. And I'm like, fuck
so
my
4
life.
hours more on.
So now from
bring your car back.
so now that's like, okay, now I got to pay for park and fly. And then I got to somehow find another ride back to Montreal. Like, it was just like, I was like, this is a complete disaster. So there's only like a real handful of people, if that you can ask a favor like that.
Like that.
To drive
that's
us
a
to
real favor,
Montreal.
bro. That's a
Yeah.
real favor.
Like,
Oh,
you know
big
what I
time.
mean? This is a Friday night. Like, people probably have better shit to do, right? So I look through my phone, bro. I might have 100 numbers. By the way, 96 of them could fuck right off. I'm not telling you who they are, but
I will. We have.
so I look, man, and I'm like, you know who's always come through since fucking grade 5? Adam Cregan.
The man.
Text him. I go, Cregan, got a favor to ask you. And his response is, as long as it's not a scam.
Yep.
And
He
in
doesn't know who
fairness,
he's talking to
There's
yet.
a lot of scams out there. People can copy numbers, you know what I mean? And I go, brother, I'm stuck. I'm supposed to be in Montreal. I got a flight tomorrow. I missed my flight. We'll pay for your gas there and back. I'll buy you food, whatever. Bro, I've never heard a guy so excited. He's like, let's friggin' do this.
do it.
And I was like, what? He's like, I'm like, do you want me to Uber to your house? He's like, I'll pick you up right at the airport. We're like, damn. All right. on the way to Montreal. Sorry, Dorval. Let's
Not
be
even
very,
Montreal, yeah.
very specific.
Specific.
Dorval, the ghetto. So
Yep.
we get there, and then on the way there, I get a hotel. I can't spend $300 on a hotel room. We're spending
No.
$200 on fuel plus fucking
Yep.
food.
Yeah.
I need to get the cheapest room. We're only gonna be there 5 hours.
Yeah. Because our flight leaves super early.
So we see this shitty hotel. I'm like, yeah, perfect. Boom,
And
boom,
it's close
boom.
to the airport.
And it was still, dude, it was still like 100 and something, like 100, high 170, 180. Like, it wasn't that cheap. It was cheap, but it wasn't still
that's
cheap.
right. Bro,
So
those $60, $70 rooms, they don't exist anymore, man.
this one should have been $6. They should have paid us to be there.
Oh, yeah. This was like the Bates Motel in a hotel. I'm not joking. It
There
was
were
bad.
so many things wrong about this place.
They should have paid us to
It was in an industrial area, right?
Yeah.
And
Scary.
So we
Industrial
walk
area.
in after Adam Cregan drove on the wrong side of the street and gets mad and says, I didn't build these fucking things. It was pretty funny, actually.
Big shout outs to Cregan, man.
So-
Big shout outs to
So
Cregan.
he's like, I'm like, do you want to come in? You need to use a pisser? Like, it's been a few hours. He's like, I'll come in for a couple of minutes. We walk in, and there's this black dude with a cast, and he looks kind of iffy. And there was this other one black customer. Remember another
Yeah.
one?
I was just standing there.
And he was demanding about like, oh, we need this, we need that. I think there was a wedding or something. But
Yeah.
there's no one else in this hotel. Like, you don't
No.
see a soul in there, right? So the guy goes, yeah, your room's like 242. He's it's right up these stairs. So we go up these stairs, and it's like a T. So it's left, right, straight, and there's something even behind me. It was
Oh
weird.
yeah, there's fucking all those directions, and it doesn't give you which way to go.
That's right. You know how usually there's a plaque? 238.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. This
I
is
see
go
two-
find yourself,
I see
motherfuckers.
238, so I assume let's continue this way, right?
Yeah, wrong.
The next door was 207. and
then
he's
you-
yelling on the top of the stair, the bottom of the stairs, going the wrong way. I'm like, how does he fucking know this, right?
Bro, this sounds like a scene from Saw.
So he comes in, first brings us to the wrong place. My key won't work. It's the door
He's
across.
trying to get us into someone else's room.
So, well, if anyone was there.
True.
So we get in there. This guy takes a piss. What do you find, Jesse?
I don't even want to say it.
What?
It's a fucking
cockroach.
podcast. Stop being a fucking bam over here.
Cockroach. A cockroach.
Oh,
It
alive.
waved at him. It went, hey man.
It went.
Alive?
It was in the sink. It was in the sink, and it was like, and I was like, I'm pissing. I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude?
You know, here's
Dude,
said-
it
he
was
said, "Feed
fucking. Dude, it was trying to run away, right? Like it's like I'm gonna
Yeah,
fucking kill that cocksucker, but it went behind the mirror, and I don't know where the fuck it went. Ew. Yeah, thank you. Ew is right. It was so gross. You never seen two
guys, how did
big.
you guys collect some money from the cockroaches?
You think we're big, white, big, strong guys? No, we were.
No, speak for your fucking self, man. I didn't say nothing.
Oh,
I would have pet the little fucker. So we're like, okay, listen, fucking terrible night. I said, I asked the guy downstairs, I'm like, is there a bar near here? He goes, no. Like, where am I? Like,
Yeah.
so I find one like 6 kilometers away, and Adam's like, okay, I'll drive you to the bar and then I'll head home. I said, that works. Drives us to the bar, it's a karaoke bar. It's nothing great. Everyone looks like they are incest. So him and I are just drinking on the patio. There's this dude smoking cigarettes like you're smoking right now.
Cigars.
It's
It's
just hitting poor Jess in the face. He has to switch over. We're like, okay, let's Uber out of here, right? So Bane. let's Uber out of here, right? We Uber out of here. Dude, this is when I noticed. You're gonna yell at him? Just give him a fucking joint to relax.
Yeah, trying.
So we get back, James. This is when I noticed the creepiest part. This black guy is like leaning on this thing with this big giant TV with every camera, bro.
yeah. It's
That's
like
how
a
he-
100-inch screen. It's a
Yeah.
100-inch screen.
That's how he was seeing you guys through
Yes.
the hallways. Yo, that.
But if
for
there's no one in this
sure
hotel,
has cameras in those rooms. You know those
Why
shows
are you
where they show
looking?
hidden cameras and shit.
Oh, I
For
wouldn't
sure,
doubt
that
it.
was a hotel with hidden cameras in the room.
I
dude,
wouldn't
it
doubt
was
it.
it was a scary ass shit. So we end up sleeping on the blankets,
Yeah, in our clothes,
lights on, keep the
lights
bugs
on,
out.
lights never turned off because we gotta just scare the cockroaches, right? We wouldn't open our bags. Nothing got opened. Like we just nope, don't open a fucking
Back to
thing.
Montreal airport,
Mm-hmm.
aka Dorval, and then we fly towards you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we land. James, I tell James pick us up at 10:45. Picks us up at 11:30.
30.
Was it that bad?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Dude, the whole airport was empty.
Yeah.
I figured that there was going to be about 20 minutes time by the time you guys got your through there and walked out and stuff like that.
20 minutes,
So, on my
45
back,
minutes.
I realized
Everything was
that.
smooth at the airport, like super
Oh,
smooth.
yeah.
Because think about it, there's no bags. Like we have our carry on or
Yeah,
backpacks.
I did. I assumed that I had like some leeway time.
So it was
but
just perfect.
I
It was like
think-
boom, 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 and then we even went to the wrong floor because there's a floor where I guess the Ubers and cabs go. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
the downstairs is where the pedestrians go. I'm like, okay, cool. So we end up doing that. Whatever. All said and done. We're there now. You know what I mean? We're there. It is what it is.
We got there.
And then we end up going to Chilliwack, and people always say Chilliwack's very small, but guys, it was a lot bigger of a
It was
place than
huge.
we ever thought, right?
I
Yeah, it had
me
everything.
when I say small, I was thinking like Alaska with like one fucking outpost and
You're just dissing Alaska. You don't even know what it looks like.
I know. That's what I was just picturing. You know, I was
You're
like,
gonna go to Alaska. It's like New York City to him because he thought it was one guy.
you know, like one corner store. I was thinking almost Otter Lake style. Like, I was
Yeah,
like,
it's
"Geez, man,"
a
you know,
little
like-
town. They meet little, but we're talking about over 100,000 people. We're talking about there's a Home Depot, there's a movie theater, there was
There's
a
everything.
Walmart. That's everything you ever.
Yeah, it had everything. What was that burger place we went to?
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr. That place was fire.
Yeah, we didn't even have that here, and they had it in Chilliwack, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
James, what's your take on Vancouver, Chilliwack? Well, what was your take?
Vancouver, I thought it was absolutely beautiful. The mountains, the mountaintops going past the clouds, that's something I'd never seen before. So I
Okay,
thought that was breathtaking. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I always thought though that on the outskirts of the bigger cities in BC, I thought, guys, that I was gonna like, you know, the planters that they have in the middle of the roads on the city, you know, that are maintained by the city and
Yeah.
they have plants and flowers in them.
Yeah.
I thought that there was gonna be weed plants growing out of those in Chilliwack. You know what I mean? I was surprised
Where
as
the
fuck,
fuck
man.
do you
I
think you're
was
going to heaven,
surprised-
right?
Listen, I was surprised as fuck as to how there was the weed game was a lot different than I expected it to be out there. That was one
Chilliwack,
thing
not
that
weedy
was one thing I took from Chilliwack. I thought I was gonna end up in the Mecca.
You thought he was gonna chill at Chilliwack,
And whack.
all high and shit.
but
Now,
it
what was
wasn't chill.
Chill and whack.
when you picked this up? The first thing you said is you weren't impressed with the dispensaries inside the Vancouver City area.
Yeah.
What were you expecting? What did you see?
So, like I said, obviously it's an exaggeration, guys, when I talk about the planters having weed plants in them. But I thought I was going to see more non-regulated dispensaries
Okay.
with some really high-end product. Like prior to legalization, all the cannabis cups, any tournaments, Canada was known for the weed that came out of BC. All those kind of festivals and whatnot were all held out there. And there was a season at one point that people migrated there to be part of harvesting time. I was just really surprised when I got there and I found the stores or the dispensaries were all regulated and exactly the same products as what we have in Ontario.
That was gonna be my assumption, anyways.
Me too.
I find
Because
when
government is government.
fuck it, everything's gonna be across the board now. Like there's no.
But we did
like
find
cigarettes.
unregulated dispensaries there.
Yeah,
And the reason why I was expecting to find some there and I thought more because we have some here in Ottawa.
that's right.
And I've walked into the ones here in Ottawa, and that's usually where I tend to buy a lot of my stuff from. And it's just reason being is price and quality of product. There's less limitations, less regulations. It's non-regulated, right? So I was expecting to find a lot more of that out there.
Okay. Now, me never being in a dispensary since the first time I went was with you. I have no need to go, right? But I'm just disgusted with the pricing
Oh,
that they
God, yeah.
sell. How do you, James? You being a fucking gigantic weed smoker, what's your thought process on the price itself?
So it's really expensive. Now they have, if you're a non-heavy smoker, if you're a beginner, I could see how it could work.
See?
They have efficient weed.
Yeah. That's what
They
I did.
have weed. That's right. And we'll get to that in a second, Dana. But you know what? They have efficient weed. They have cheap weed. They have economic weed. So that's what
Okay.
I want to say. Where you could buy an ounce for $120. You could buy an ounce for $100. It's just when you're more of a senior smoker like myself, that stuff just doesn't work. So now when you
I
want to
see
get
that,
into
yeah.
the higher end, the craft stuff, that's when it gets really, really, really expensive at the dispensary. And if you want to combine, because they sell 3.5s. So if you want to combine them all together to make an ounce, when I want to buy something that I find works well for me, and Joe, you have an understanding of ounce prices, just you do too, $400 an ounce.
That's disgusting.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
insane. I only did it for about a month because I was absolutely stuck, and it was really tough for me. Actually, I saw it. It takes a dent in your savings, man. Like it's a lot of money. You know what I mean when you're smoking at the quantity that I'm smoking.
Now,
So-
what's the benefits of legalizing it? Like that's just my. I knew. Okay, this was my prediction. I knew Bozo Trudeau was gonna legalize this, right? And he was gonna get people that never voted before. And you see a lot of Instagram posts of people like, "Oh, who'd you vote for? Why'd you vote for him? Oh, legalizing marijuana." It was like they're getting a W under their belt, but not knowing they're taking an L in the long run.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Like so,
right.
like what? So
We
was there a
like-
benefit
What
of
did
it
you
be,
know?
besides benefiting the government themselves?
No.
When has the government
No, bro,
ever
the
got
only
involved
benefit-
and made things better for the people? Really?
No,
Not
we
never.
get that. We get that.
Absolutely. So I think at one point it was It was like there was a lot of benefit to the dispensaries before they opened it up to everybody. At one point
Because
there was a lottery,
there's only
right?
yeah,
On
there's
a
only
yearly
certain people
basis,
that can
yeah. I
sell,
think they were pulling a lottery on a bi-yearly basis or some BS like that. And there was only
Yeah, but
like
it's still
4
that's still
dispensaries.
considered a monopoly. We know damn well that would have still monopolized towards so and so's buddies or boys or
Yeah,
just like the freaking
absolutely.
big major
That's what
contracts.
happened.
In
And
our
that's
region.
what basically that's what the government kind of I guess they wiped their hands clean of it. They said, okay, well, because there was a lot of people that were lobbying that were saying, yo, what are you guys give it to the people you're connected to? You gave it to those people, and we're here in the streets. We've been doing it for our whole lives. So the government just, okay, here you go. And then now you could drive down Bank Street and you lose count on two hands how many dispensaries you come across in a 10 or 15 minute drive. Now it's become retail, and it's become really shitty retail. And that's why not even the retailers, Joe, are making money. I don't understand how they could be making money off of this, because there are locations everywhere. So now for you to stand out, you need a fucking kick-ass location. That means the per square foot price is going to be fucking ridiculous. And you got to make your place stand out when somebody walks into it. So now when you rent that, when you first rent that place,
it's not the same,
you got to spend a lot of money in making it look good. So now you've got like a 5-year minimum, 10-year mortgage over your head, basically, right? A loan that you've got to pay off that you spent to make the place look fucking beautiful. Not only that, your inventory is completely controlled. I heard in Ontario, you're not allowed to buy from anywhere that's not okayed by the OCS, the Ontario Cannabis Supply.
Of course.
So they've controlled the cost of your goods. You have suggested retail prices, so you're not allowed really to go over that. No one's going to go see you anyways. And you know, you're spending $35,000 a month on a fucking fire location because you need to have a better location than the next guy.
And you're not making any more
you've
money.
got $700,000 or $500,000 in leasehold improvements that you've got to pay off because you made your place sparkle darker when the people fucking walk in. You know, you made them like, wow, razzle dazzle when they walk in.
And then Johnny Banana behind the counter is minimum wage.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And a lot of them know fuck all about weed.
Yeah,
and
he's
I know
working
this
for
'cause
free
I go
weed.
in and I ask, right? I go in and I ask, so I know that they know fuck all about weed, and they're supposed to be the bud tenders, you know.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting concept. I wasn't. I can't say this is not what I predicted when this happened. I knew when legalizing shit, I knew prices were going to go up. It has to go up. The local grower either grew in his basement, was already paying for his mortgage, paid a little bit more in hydro. Prices were down. Now there's, like you said, there's a bunch of expenses. If the guy gave it to you at $120 an ounce, he's out of business within a month because he can't afford it.
So now on another level, Joe, to the LPs, the licensed producers. So to be able to produce cannabis for these dispensaries to sell, you cannot have a personal AMPCR license. You have to have an LP. And those are multi-million dollar setups. Okay. But you have inspectors coming in there looking at a whole crop that just got harvested. So they spent 3 months going through the whole cycle. They'll take a look at, I don't know, maybe 50 pounds or 100 pounds and be like, no, mold or mildew. It's got to go.
Wow.
Not to mention they were forced, these LPs, to build a specific like section of their facility that is designed to destroy product properly so that no one gets their hands on mold, mildew, weed like that out the back door.
So I can't believe the cost of weed out there. It's so much less in Saskatchewan and Alberta. Not saying that you're a weed smoker, dealer, or anything, but do you know what the prices are of the weed? If you don't mind sending us a quick message, I'm curious. Like,
me too. Yeah.
Because it's expensive here. It's expensive in BC.
So in Quebec, guys, a Quebec dispensary, a legit Quebec dispensary, the SQDC, will sell the same exact 3.5 gram kind
bag
of weed,
whatever,
something like this.
Yep.
And it'll be $6 to $14 cheaper on the Quebec side.
Wow, that's because
For
taxes,
the
right?
same exact, it's got to be that, Jess. But
well,
no,
it is.
not just that, 'cause it's such a significant difference. But that's something that's weird because I've noticed that in Quebec. Cigarettes are cheaper, beer is
it's all
cheaper,
taxes. Yeah,
weed is cheaper, but gas is more expensive.
Well, it's because they want you to get drunk and high and not go anywhere.
Fuck, I didn't know that was weed. I
Your
thought
weed and stay home, dummy. You know?
that little face cream. I thought that was face cream you had there.
So, Jess, you've put that drone up in the air quite a few times.
Yeah.
Did you find anything special about Chilliwack when you did it?
Oh man, it's beautiful. Like I like the height. I can go there. You can't go that high.
Yeah, that's the highest we've ever been. We maxed it, right?
like we were
That
at
was
500,
insane.
500
Bro, the
meters.
footage you sent me, bro, insane, man.
Yeah.
Insane. I must have watched it like 10 times, bro.
Yeah,
Showed it
it's
to-
on the YouTube channel, guys. If you want to check it out, Jesse flew the drone and got some footage of where we were at. But probably 15 minutes away from your cousin's house,
Yep.
give or take. Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Yeah, that drone footage. Now, how impressed are you about the drone, James? You saw the. Hold on, I have it right here. Actually, it's kind of funny. This is it folded up.
when you guys put that thing in the air and the stability of it, the distance, the clarity, that photo that we took
I know it's
in front of us,
Took a
that
selfie
was so
with a
nasty,
drone.
man.
Yeah.
That was just you control that thing like a champ, bro. You got that on lock, man.
It's I bet you the Call of Duty kids would be sick with it. It's
Oh,
the same
yeah.
type of. It's the
Same
same
type of control, yeah.
because what it is, it goes side to side or turn. You know what I mean? It's the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
technical
yeah,
type of
yeah.
control, right? It's playing with it and actually letting it fly and really relying on your phone
Yes,
because people tend to keep looking at it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, you
Well, at
keep
one
looking
point
at
it
it,
was
but-
gone.
but you can't see
but
it.
you can't see it
Yeah.
nowhere. You have to look at your phone. And what happens is the footage from the drone is on your phone. You know what I mean? And that home button's cool as hell. You press the home
That's
button.
awesome.
It just,
Yeah,
you don't know
yeah,
where it is.
yeah.
You can't. Sometimes you can't fly that
So
thing
dope.
back.
That was so dope.
That thing
And
can't
you know
fly
what?
back.
I would definitely, I would go back and spend more time because I thought that one park that we went to was beautiful. That one place that we stopped was beautiful.
It was
Joe,
dope.
let me know if I'm jumping the gun, on anything, man. Like I hope I didn't jump the gun on.
All right,
us
man.
and
It's
Jeff,
just stories. It's what we did on over the weekend there, right?
bro. Something I had to mention in this show was the fucking apple tree, bro.
That apple tree.
That apple tree.
Damn, you pay 80.
Holy
to $100.
crap!
$5 for an OZ.
God damn.
29 to 30%.
All right, you win.
Seems like where's that again?
There we go.
Next road trip.
Yeah. So after that footage, we take a drive around this mountain, and then James catches an apple tree. And that was probably one of the best apples I've ever had in my entire
It's
life.
fucking
All day.
delicious, man. It's
All
nice and
day, all day.
sweet. Oh man,
It was so crisp.
Yeah.
It was so crisp. It was so,
sweet. It had a good
yeah.
sweetness to it.
and there
I
was
don't
a
know.
lot
It
of
was,
juice
it was,
in it.
yeah, it was dope. Definitely a good apple. But now after
we
that,
ate
we ended up.
some on the passing it, and on the way back we stopped too. It was,
Yeah, there's gonna be a guy that's gonna shoot us next time we drove. Right
Leave my apples alone.
So after that, we ended up going to see reality TV star, Canadian reality TV star Jeff Schwartz from
Jeff Schwartz.
Liquidator.
yeah.
Hollered at
Big up
Jeff.
to
Jeff
Jeff.
tells me he's at work.
Jeff,
Gives us
Jeff,
the
Jeff.
address, and we meet Jeff. And Jeff, as a character, didn't disappoint though,
No,
man.
no, he was
No.
funny as hell.
Jeff
No.
didn't disappoint. Jeff's one of those
Like
guys.
I felt like I was in the show.
He
just
can
talking
hang
to
out
him.
with. Jeff's the type of guy he can be dropped right with our team
Yeah,
and roll
100.
and blend right in
immediately
with
with
us.
Yeah, yeah. All day. We could hang out with him all day, man. All
He's,
day. I was
he's a
hoping.
good-
He's busy
good-
though, man. He's a very busy man. I was hoping
He's a
to
good
see
lad.
if he could spend
At
more
first,
time,
I thought
but-
it looked like we were bothering him.
Mm.
He's like, "Hey man, how's it going?" And I was like, oh, "Okay, cool. My bad. I'll come say what's up, and then and then dip."
dip.
And then he was starting to warm up to us, and we started talking about different things, and
That's
Yeah.
right.
then he's like, and then
I
every-
think he saw that we had the same views as him, bro. So he was like,
that's
"Yeah."
it.
You know?
And then even when he was like, some of his staff's like, "Oh, me and this guy did the podcast together. Me and him, this guy
Yeah,
did the
he
podcast."
told
together."
everybody about the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, "That's dope." And then he goes, "Go look around the store," and then he sends me a text because he wants to tell us a story. He's like, "Yo, you out back?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Come." And he tells us a story. Like Jeff honestly, he did not disappoint
yeah, man.
from the
Big ups
Liquidator.
to Jeff. He made us feel very welcome there too. He wasn't no high horse or anything like that. You know what I mean?
No,
Mind
no,
you, he had
no,
a
no.
Super,
And he wouldn't
super,
even let us
super
help him with
successful
anything. You
show.
want us to
No.
lift this? Or he's like, no, don't worry about
I know.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, he
He
was
didn't
dope.
try to get us. He didn't try to get us on a deal or anything either. You know.
But guys, what's really funny is I don't know when this starts. Okay, what I mean by this is the Chinese food.
Oh my
Chinese
God.
food from where we are in Ontario,
It's different.
out east. It's called fake Chinese food, and
Yeah.
we love the fake Chinese. We love the egg rolls and chicken
egg rolls
balls.
and chicken balls, and
Chicken fried rice.
the Canadian Chinese
So
food.
we have 3 dummies. Okay, we're right here on the screen. We're right here in your voices. The 3 dummies go to Jeff. Hey man, what do you recommend eating? Jeff goes, there's a Chinese place. You know, left, right, whatever the fuck the directions are. And we're like, cool.
Up, down, select,
Yeah.
start over there.
So,
Yeah.
so he goes,
Yeah,
we're like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
cool. He's like, it's amazing. We get there, place looks kind of closed.
Mm-hmm.
Open the door and like, oh, come in, and fucking. You notice that every table is like a table of 10.
Yes, and there were three.
And I'm like, yo, we're fucking screwing up here. Just sits down. But you went and took a leak, right? So I opened the menu, and the menu has like 90 pages.
Yeah, at least.
And the lady
least.
behind
And it's
me
not
is like,
cheap
do you want
either.
these?
It's like-
Do you want that? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I want the bitch. Give me a
Closing
second.
the deal, man.
I
Bro,
can't even read the shit. It's in Chinese.
I'm still looking for
and-
an egg roll. Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And she's pushing, man. She's
Oh
pushing.
my-
I was looking for the egg roll, and at one point I started looking for the app prices because I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn, 40
They're
bucks.
not. I know, like king crab, $95. I was like, woo.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking smash and dash. I'm not coming back.
I honestly think because we went there, they were closed. They said
they
they
were
opened
closed.
at like 5 and we're
Yes,
there
it
at like
was like
4.
4:30 ish. Yeah, 4:30.
So I think they're trying to get us in and out before all the
Oh, yeah, no, I get
true
it. I get
authentic
it.
people came
Yeah,
in,
they're
right?
trying to
Because
close it. I
get
knew
it.
we were in trouble when I saw the animals in the aquariums live in the wall.
You know what the
That's
best
what I
part?
knew.
I'm like, beer. She's like, oh, we got local beer. We got coconut. I'm like, that's at our beer store too. It's nothing fucking great. I'll drink it, no problem. But don't act like it's, like we're never gonna get it. Actually, so whatever. The first, she drops off the first bill at James. It's like $330. And James is like, yo, it's not ours, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm looking at the bill. I didn't even see what was on there. It's at $330. I'm like, fuck, I guess we have to eat this one. Like, that's what's going through my head. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
So
After
she
that
came back
meal.
with the average bills, like whatever, 140, whatever the fuck it was, 170 with tip or whatever, right? So we end up leaving. So I'm like, yo, I need a couple drinks. So, and Jessie needed some fucking back rub, what'd you get on for your back?
Voltaren.
So he needs, I spot a fucking
Shoppers Drug Mart
Shoppers Drug
somehow.
Mart
Like
off the
through,
highway.
went through the, he terminated it. He was like,
bro.
beep, 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 beep.
That's what
One's
people
over
say
there.
when you're driving 40 kilometers an hour down a
40.
fucking residential area. Yeah, I spotted in that plaza over there. No. Motherfucking Hawkeye over here. We're going 90 kilometers an hour on the highway.
On the highway? What do you mean? On the sidewalk, you freaking crazy man.
What do you mean?
Driving
We're
around.
Yeah,
we're driving like a maniac.
We're
What do
driving
you
in the
mean?
car, and we're at a pretty
Oh,
decent
yeah.
speed. And Joey, out of the corner of his eye, threw about, I don't know,
5
or 4
buildings?
kilometers worth of bush. I don't know what he saw because I didn't fucking see it.
You guys almost
Neither.
didn't believe me
He's like,
neither.
Get
No.
off here. He's
He's like,
get
there's
off
one
here."
right there. I'm like, where?
I'm like, where? I'm like, okay. And no, bro, we were on a highway. He's like, you get up because we were on a highway. I got off. And lo
Turn
and
right,
fucking behold,
turn right,
turn
and another right, and there it was.
Yeah, we drive for like 3 minutes, and then there it was. The
like,
fucking
what the
Shoppers
fuck?
Drug right there. Joe, man,
I was like,
impressed, bro.
hallelujah,
I was
'cause-
fucking impressed, man.
He goes, I need to
I don't
find
know
a
what
Shoppers.
happened
I'm
there.
like, there's
I don't
one right
know.
there. You guys are like, yeah. I deep down, you guys
like,
both
where?
said, you both
I'm looking
said,
in a
yeah,
forest.
yeah, right. But like, what do we have to lose, right?
Yeah,
like
I
that's
mean-
what
Yeah,
it was like.
exactly.
You're like, oh,
I'm
okay,
like,
whatever.
no. I'm like, come on. I'm like, first of all, Joe wouldn't set himself up like that. I'm like,
No.
this motherfucker must have seen something. You know what I mean? So I get off, and lo and behold, like I said, we drive for about 8 minutes, and then there it is.
So after that, I'm like, yo, bro, for the ride back, because between Vancouver and Chilliwack, it's about an hour and 20,
Yep.
hour and 30 with the traffic or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I need some beers in the back seat. So we go to this liquor store there, right? And first of all, James scared the shit out of me because he doesn't drink, and all of a sudden he's standing close, and I'm about to freak out on whoever's standing that close to me, right? So I grab a couple of drinks and I look over to tell Buddy to beat it, but it's James. I'm like, yo, what the fuck you doing in here? He's like, I want to ask this lady if they have anything here that we don't have at home. And while he's saying this other lady that's a customer goes, ma'am, do you have this bottle of blah, blah, blah? She's like, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh man, James is going to set himself up to fail here. You know what I mean? So I don't say anything. I'm hopefully thinking he caught on to this vibe,
Attitude,
right?
yeah.
I thought my charm was still gonna do it, bro.
So I walk up, I put my drinks down, and then James goes, do you have anything here that we don't have in Ontario? She was like, what? She's a big girl, too, eh? Like, what? She was like, I don't know. Do you guys
He's
have
like, I
any-"
don't know.
She's like, I don't fucking know. So it kind of gets a little bit tense, and I tell her, if you keep up this attitude, I might have to marry you. So she laughs it off, and we're like, let's get the fuck out of here,
You
man.
saved the day there, man, because I think James was toast.
James's face was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. You know,
Fuck do I know? What
Definitely
the
when
fuck
you
do
want
I
to
know, dude?" She didn't give a shit, man.
She didn't care whatsoever.
It was so good, man. So good.
that was funny.
No, but overall, man, it's a beautiful place.
Yep.
People kind of freak out at me when I say I've only been there for 3 days. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But you do understand that when you go to a West Coast trip like that, it's not cheap. It's not going to be cheap. And I know you have a place to stay. It's cool. But if you have to rent a car and then, eat out every day or whatever the case. Talk about eating out. That was one of the best pizzas I've had in a very long time.
Oh my God, it was so good.
Oh,
What was
wow,
it?
yeah.
I can't even remember what it was called.
Jim's
Joe's?
or something?
Jim's or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, Jim's.
That was
Jim's,
fire.
John's, Jim, something with J. It was
That was
freaking-
solid. That was definitely a solid.
That tomato sauce, the pizza sauce or whatever it
Oh,
was
the
they
whole
used.
company, I don't know. The whole fucking thing. They had
It
a
was
lot
so
of
good.
ingredients on it. I give that place a big shout out. I'm a type of guy that likes to put good reviews. So I gotta ask Matt what the place is called
Absolutely.
because like too many people put bad reviews on
Yes,
shit.
whenever
so
they're
people-
mad, they love to vent.
So we need to put some good reviews on good places.
That was a nice area too that we stayed in Chilliwack. That
Bro,
area.
that
like
whole
Matt's area.
what
Beautiful.
ugly place did you see in
I didn't
Chilliwack,
see
though?
any
Yeah,
ugly.
true that, eh? True, very true. Everything looked like Swiss Alps style, man. It was beautiful. It was
Like it's like
beautiful.
we're at resorts, like
Super clean, super proper.
so many
like
gated
ski
communities,
resorts.
man.
Everything
so
looked
many
like a ski resort.
gated resorts, gated communities.
But
It was-
so
yeah, it was
so
beautiful.
but that trip there's a topic I've always wanted to bring up on a podcast, and anyone that's listening, please chime in on this. And I ended up seeing it there. Okay, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate people for doing it. I just hate people doing it. I don't hate themselves. And it's dog crating. The crate when they put the dogs in this cage as a training mechanism or a don't piss on the floor I don't know what the
Don't
fuck.
chew
they're
my
for.
shit.
Yeah. And Toby
Love Toby.
was a good dog, and he had freedom with us. We're like, fuck, Toby, we're breaking you out,
Yeah.
So we
Took him
broke
for a
Toby
ride and
out,
everything.
and Toby
Yeah.
had a good time. So Toby
Yeah.
came out, but it was something because I remember posting something on Instagram, and the guy goes, "Hey, listen, if people need to crate your dogs, maybe you shouldn't have one. You shouldn't deserve to have one." And it went on and on and on. He had his own little rant, and I don't know if he was a vet or a trainer. I don't know, but I kind of I agreed with him, so I kind of shared it. So I had this broad one time that I met in Cuba. She comes at me like I created this video, but damn well I would have created the video anyways. And she's like, I crate my dog and it's right to do it. And I said, well, I never did. And I disagree with it. You know what I mean? So we're going back and forth. And I tell her, I said, well, I'm being sarcastic. I'm like, well, I wouldn't let you babysit my dog because obviously we know he's going to be in a crate. And she's going back, but she ends up blocking me. She's so offended
I know, it was crazy.
about her antics of crating.
Couldn't
Now
have a disagreement. That's all it was, right?
Fuck her. She deserves to be in a crate too. But anyways, it's not even about her. I just want the whole theory about a crate because we know some people, personal people, that crate their dogs too. And I'm sitting there going, you go to work, you crate it. You leave your house, you crate it, and then when you go to bed, you crate it. What is this, a fucking parrot that you got? Like what is this?
A parrot flies around the house sometimes. Though.
Like I'm sitting there going, what the hell? Like, and the thing is, I don't know. Like when you have a dog, is it supposed to kind of guard your house or warn you that something's wrong? Or because dogs are smart, man. If there's a bit of a fire, they'll come help.
That instinct, yeah. Yeah,
What
that's
the
right.
fuck is going on?
Somebody
So
comes in your house,
that-
they're gonna defend
Feel
that
free
house.
to comment and let me know if you agree or disagree with crating. And I want to ask Jessie first. What do you think about dog crating?
I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, I had a crate for my dog, but not to punish him
You're a
or
piece
not
of
to
shit.
put him
You're getting
in.
kicked out. No.
I had it for him, like, the gate was always open, right?
Yeah.
And it was just for his bed.
Yeah.
Like, that's if you want to go and have your own little, that's your, and he'd use it a lot for himself. Like, he'd go in there, lay down, chew on his bone or whatever, but we didn't lock the gate and be like, you're done,
So you're not crating, is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not
So
crating. No,
you
we didn't
owned a crate, but you didn't crate them.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, we gave him freedom around the house, and he's fine.
But now, what like how do you I don't know. Okay, James, how do you feel? Would you're a crater or not crater?
No, I'm an operator.
I'm creating words here, by the way.
Yeah.
To crate or not to crate?
Yeah.
So
That is the
I'm
question.
against it. I wouldn't crate my dog. My dog's, AKA Prince Bane. You know what I mean? Like he gets the couches, he gets the beds, he doesn't
Yeah.
get much limitation when it comes to that anyway. So
That's because he rules you.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just that. I just feel that's how I feel though. I feel that a dog shouldn't have that. I mean, if you could discipline him to a point where he doesn't destroy your couch and doesn't destroy your stuff, then like your bed and whatnot, there's no reason for him not to be in it.
Because if I'm the way I'm looking at it, it's a fucking cop out of discipline. Because you're telling me, would you put your fucking kids in a cage, or would you have to teach them not to do things?
That's right.
It's disgusting. It's like, and I'm sorry, poor Toby was in a cage, bro. When we put him back and he gave me the little,
Oh,
I was like, oh my god, I gotta get him back out. Like, I was like,
it was heartbreaking. Yeah.
We took him with us. We kidnapped him.
Matt's like,
for
don't put him
life.
on the couch.
I love
He
it.
lived on the couch the
Oh
whole
my
weekend.
god, we couldn't try to get him off the couch. He was just like,
James, I think you were outside. Matt's like,
testing us.
what the fuck did you do to him? I'm like, yo, you need to retrain him.
no, we screwed him up. Like,
Toby's
he was
done.
going crazy
so
second. Day 2, that dog was nuts. He was trying to eat us like it was crazy. He was just going nuts.
No, he's a cute little
yeah.
fella. I just find like, guys, if you are planning on doing this, maybe you don't need to have a dog. Maybe it's not time. Maybe your furniture is too valuable. Maybe you're too busy with kids. I don't know. But if that's the way that you think you're gonna have to do it, consider giving it to somebody else. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because people are very, very busy. Very busy. You can't be working long hours. Go every time you go out and you come home. Then let's say you have to go to Walmart. I don't know. You know what I mean? Or you go out and meet up with someone. The thing has to go back in there. I just don't get it. I'm not a fan of it. I just don't like it. You know what I mean? And for that girl to freak out on me, I didn't disagree. I didn't hate her.
No.
But I would like for her to realize maybe you shouldn't have a dog. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey, we know some people that shouldn't have kids, for fuck's sakes.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Holy crap, man. That's a long list.
Just to throw that out there, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, guys, I'm pro-abortion, trust me. But that's my thought process. I just find like people are, especially in today's day and age, they want the best of everything, the best of
Yes.
both worlds. They want the easiest thing, and it's like, do things and people have to suffer for this to happen? I don't think so. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. Now, there's another topic I always see, because all of our fucking Instagram has, your shit will pop up a lot different than my shit on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm a pervert and more shit pops out on me. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I have to ask girls, what pops up on yours? Like, oh, it's food. I'm like, well, mine's different type of food, if you know what I mean.
Mine's peaches and fruit.
But a lot of things, I have
Melons.
these podcasts that pop up, and it's always a debate about, it's always a couple guys, you guys probably see this, and they're debating with these broads from OnlyFans. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You see
I
the
know
debates
exactly
and
which
they're-
ones. Yeah.
No,
There's
now-
that girl who was wearing that fucked up hat all the time, sitting beside the dude with the spike on. Yeah, I know which one.
But yeah. There's the 2 or 3, and they tried to crush each other and stuff like that. But the thing is, now I'm gonna ask both of you the same question, and James, I'll hit you up first. Would you ever date a girl that was or is on OnlyFans?
No,
No. So even what if she was before?
no.
So that's definitely not if she was still. Jesse, what about you?
No, I don't think so.
On both?
Yeah. I think that, I don't know, like that seeking of attention. I don't know.
Joe,
man.
I'm assuming you're asking dating seriously, like on a serious.
Yeah, of course.
thing.
You find an attractive girl either on a dating app, at the bar. You met her. You guys hit it off. She sits down. She says, "Hey, I was or am on OnlyFans." What are your thought process? Do you let it slide, or? And they're both two different questions. Was
This
and
was
is.
and is, yeah. And past tense, like, what did you
And
do
you-
while you're on
and you think
OnlyFans?
it's-
I not that I wouldn't pursue. I would pursue, but I just wouldn't take it seriously. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not somebody I think I'd buy a house with. It's not somebody I think I would
You grow
have
with.
kids with. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you guys. I get it. I totally get it. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think
It's like,
I got thought
I don't know if
process.
it's the same, but it'd be like, would you date a porn star? Is it close?
It
to
is
the same?
technically the same
You know-
question.
You know what I mean? Like,
It is technically the same because
Yeah.
you're still watching something.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
what's-
like, I
what's a
wouldn't.
modern day.
I wouldn't. I mean,
That's too much to compete with, anyways.
Oh yeah,
like what the fuck?
it's like throwing a hot dog in a pool and hoping
I'm
it
like,
floats
yo,
to the
sweetheart,
side.
tell me they don't edit those videos. If I was a porn star, I'd be the only intro. I'd be on the intro. That's it. I'd be the intro.
It'd be
That's
the
it.
shortest video. It's
Like introducing. That's, you know. I just no, but it's a great question because like I find all what they're saying. Intro. And my poor name would be Johnny Intro. Johnny Intro. At its best. Short list. So what it is, it's the things I think the exact same. I see these guys, but the things I see these guys bashing the girls, and they come up with good things. You know, a good guy, a good quality guy doesn't want to date a girl like that, and I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
But I wouldn't bash them.
But the thing what kills me is if fucking men stop being perverts and stop going on these
They
things,
wouldn't be millionaires.
that's my fucking point. Remember that girl, the Catch Me Outside girl? She was on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
She has like $50-some million from being on OnlyFans. Are you supposed to tell someone don't do that?
No. I'm like I think if I was a female and I had the body and I think I would do OnlyFans to get rich.
Well, I
too.
think
don't know.
aren't they only punking off, Joe, the ones that have like some attitude that's a type of way where they think,
Yeah, like
oh,
I don't need a man.
like,
And the
you know what I
argument
mean?
is, yes, you do, because the man needs to buy your subscriptions in the
Yes.
site.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I'm looking deeper into that. I'm not even dogging them. There's morons in every category. There's going to be morons as men. There's going to be morons in the women section. That you can't fucking change. It is what it is. But I'm just saying, as an individual, you meet a good girl, you see a nice sweetheart, and what if she was the only on her OnlyFans? All she did was play with herself, no sex with anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I always thought about, I was like,
I still don't know if I'd want everyone else to see her. I'd be like,
That's like
it
that type of
loses
point,
that value to you.
Digital stripper at that point.
Well, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely it is. And there's not been one time in our lives we weren't in love with a stripper. I don't care what you guys say.
They made the
I was
song
19,
off
I
of
pick
it.
out
I'm
ones.
in
Don't
love
do
with a
that to me,
stripper.
I was T-Pain before T-Pain.
It was J-Pain.
I was like, God damn. But yeah, she took all my money type of pain. But anyways, no, so I'm just saying, I just find things are weird. But the thing is, they dog the women, and I agree. You know what I mean? I find it's a cop out. I find that they're lazy. I find that they don't want a real fucking job. But then again, why get a real fucking job when there's a bunch of fucking momos
Paying
for
big dollars.
the shit?
The thing is, I wouldn't say it's not a real job, bro. Like it's
Oh, it's got to be work.
Fuck yeah.
It's making money. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's
a
work. I get
hustle.
it. Don't get me wrong. It's work. You
It's a
gotta
hustle.
post. You gotta pretend you probably like a dude. It's just
Oh,
a
yeah.
job. It's
It's-
the
it's-
same.
yeah.
It's the same type of
Time.
game.
Content creation too, right? You got to be
It's
creative.
time-consuming
Like,
as well.
But how creative can you be? Let's say if you watch a girl smash her vagina,
yeah.
bangs 3 guys, whatever it is. What's as a man? I'm sorry. Like if I was a subscriber, what else are you offering me? You're gonna offer me the exact same thing?
That's right. At one point, and I guess that's why they got to keep getting new subscribers.
Okay, but this is my question. Okay, I got two parts. A two-parter here. Okay, it's. Do you think that the peak is there's actually going to be a decline of it?
Yes. Too many
Because
people
now-
are on it.
Well, no, the saturation
Yep.
is one,
Saturation, yeah, for sure.
and two, is it like-
Worth the money?
I'm going to be a fucking dickhead here. How many times, like, I get bored of the porno that's free. I like this one girl this week. I take care of myself too many times to her. I'm done with her. My relationship with this porno is over. It's a wrap. I'm going on to the next one. Now it takes me an hour and a half to go through the fucking list.
like,
I'm fucking picky with
it's like
videos.
Netflix, bro. It's
So
like
now I'm
Netflix,
thinking, if I
bro.
went on OnlyFans, I'd have 400 subscribers because I get bored so fast. I'd be like, okay, all right, you're interesting. Oh, your tits didn't look like what I thought they were gonna look. No, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you squirt too much. Yeah. click. You know what I mean? Like,
You
so
got
there's
ugly toes. Man.
yeah, there's some shit. You know what I mean? I hate pierced nipples. Oh, she tricked me. I didn't know she had. Like, that's what it would turn out to be. I just don't. So I think there's and the reason why I think there's going to be another decline. The only prediction I have here is I think the kids today are desensitized
To that, yes.
to that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because when we were young, we didn't have that access. You had one friend with a
Dude,
magazine.
We had
Yeah.
whoever had the first 486 computer that took 18 minutes to get a fucking photo
No,
of a
it's the
naked
black
boob.
box, dude, the black box.
Oh, the scribble.
Yeah.
And then you notice that watching it with your 4 friends wasn't that cool.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, we all have hard-ons. This kind of got gay all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
yeah, like, don't look at me. What are you looking at, James?
One guy's
Turn
going to the
around.
bathroom. You're like, you sick fuck. You know what I mean?
It's like, I gotta take a smash. Sure you do. Funny, it doesn't smell in there.
But that's the thing. It's the things that we the evolution of us getting
Yeah.
what we got. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When you found out there was a porn site, there was a subscription. Then it became free.
Yeah.
It became so free that even we almost became desensitized. I was like, I don't care. It's there. I can go whenever the fuck I want. It wasn't at midnight at this time. Or Blue Nuit
Blue
at that
Nuit.
time. You know, every pervert at 12:05, Channel 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Going into the one corner store that you could steal the Playboy magazines from.
yeah, you
where
got
see
you
it
got
all
the
those
one guy.
mornings.
You're like, yo, I'll give you $15 for it to go get it.
Yeah. Or who knew where his
But that's
dad's
the thing.
stash was.
And I think the kids today, when you're born, it is literally they're probably watching porn at the age of 7. You know,
Oh.
who knows?
Yeah. Well,
I
why
think the
not?
kids today would rather fuck a Pokemon. I'm just
Yes.
throwing that shit out
I
there. You
would.
know.
With all those
That's why
fucked
they.
up- yeah, with all
That's
those
why they got
fucked
all
up
that Pikachu
motherfuckers.
shit.
So
Furbies and all that crap.
Do you think so? I think there's going to be a peak and
Yeah.
a complete cliff. And I think the number one reason of the cliff, I think you nailed it on the head, Jess. I think it is the saturation of saturated podcasts, saturated music, saturated. You know,
Everything's- yeah.
the only thing that's not saturated yet would be technically high budget movies.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because like
Yeah,
the
it's high
Avengers,
budget- yeah, that's right.
that's a different story. But I mean, everything else that's independently done or ran by themselves is finished. It's going to be finished.
Yeah.
It's finished. But how do you tell someone, I'm tired, my boss is a jerk and blah blah blah, or you know what I mean? And then to say, oh fuck it, I'm just going to fucking play with my vagina that I'm going to do anyways. Now just do it in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Everyone has 4K telephones and be rich from it, or make even a decent living, maybe. You know
Decent
what I
living,
mean?
man. How
Or even a
easy is it-
part-time living. Who gives a
Yeah.
fuck?
Guys, how easy is it for them to make 150 grand a year off of
Easy.
OnlyFans?
Easy.
You know what I mean? But that's difficult for them to make in the real world, man.
Yes.
Oh,
It's not
God,
easy
yeah.
to make 150 G's a year
Well,
in the real world.
They have it. They have it. I'm not gonna say everybody. I'm gonna say beautiful looking girls. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say the fit ones, the ones with the big, whatever, big ass, whatever. The good looking ladies. They already. So what happens is they get on Instagram. They probably get 100,000 perverts. Let's be realistic. So there's a hot girl going, so today I went to the store. No one cares what you did today. Your shit's like someone followed you and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the end of that discussion. So now she goes, fuck, let me start an OnlyFans and throw my link there. So everything just falls right into place for them.
That's right.
So you're almost asking them to do it. And then the guys go on it, click the link. Dude, if a girl is fucking genius, you charge $5.99. Some guy's willing to spend $7 Canadian to take a goddamn peek. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to take a peek.
We got to get some AI shit going, guys, where we get some fake AI girls going. And
Fuck,
we get
Jesse
guys
just
signing
sent me a
up.
message. He's saying he's frozen. So, guys, he doesn't look that retarded in real life, or he's not that stunned.
Am I moving in that, or am I actually frozen?
Oh, fuck, you look like you're fucking higher than James, bro.
Well, you should see the picture of James on my screen.
James, you frozen too? James acting frozen. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
He's an Jess, I'll remove you. Just come back in, bro.
Yo, how'd you know, man?
I know you, you fucking sneaky fuck. Do you know why I know you're frozen? I'm going to tell you the number one. One, I knew you're faking. Two, he's frozen but could still hear me.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't saying nothing. I was going to catch on.
Oh, it's 2.
Yo,
Yep.
okay, I gotta kick you off, and then you gotta come back in. You're still frozen.
Okay. All right.
I almost pressed the ban button.
He's right. He's right.
Ah, man, that's what happens to the world of the internet. But yeah, no, I'm like, I don't want to dog anyone for making money. A hustle's a hustle. I've always said, whatever you do in life, drug dealing, lawyer, doctor, prostitution, do it at the fullest of your abilities. And what I meant by that is, I hated seeing a fat slut. Go to the gym. Like, be the best you can be. You know what I mean? I used to be like, really? You want someone to pay for that? Like, you just asked yourself to fail.
Unless they're selling it by the pound.
No, thank you. That's fucking gross. That is completely disgusting. No, thank you. Remember the neighbor from the studio beside us?
Yeah.
Jesse, you're not frozen.
There we
anymore?
go. Nope, good.
So yeah, me and James, we when we owned the 6-1 Studios, music studio, we had a lady outside, right? So I would come out and I'd sit at the front step, let's say midnight or something, right? Because it'd be like our little drinking spot, and people were recording late, and we'd go back after the bar, whatever the fuck it was. And she's standing beside me, and I'm like, she's like, hey, how are you guys doing? I'm like, oh, good, you know. And she goes, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, working. She goes, yeah, me too. And I didn't catch on and be like, working. I was like, yeah, you're working. Yeah. She's a fucking tank, right? That wasn't. I was just like,
closed. What do you mean you're working?
Yeah. And I'm like, and then her daughter rolls through and goes, Mom, get in the house, get in the house. Her own daughter knew she was, and that's when I figured out what she was doing for a living. I was like, oh, she's working. Oh, my bad.
That studio was classic, man.
Mm-hmm.
That studio was classic, bro.
There was so much shit in that fucking place. There's so much shit. Dude, one time I was there.
We had it as a small little hangout spot at first before we made the studio.
We're such degenerates that we put in our own money to have somewhere to just hang out. Video games, a couch, booze, charging people after hours. Forget to charge them. And then degenerate Jones walks in and goes, turn this into a studio. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Help your engineer.
You're like, all right. Fucking built the booth. Built the booth. Yeah. Week on, week off. Fuck this guy. So we fucking put the gang together, and it was just like, it was insane. I remember going in there with Trevor and some other guy, and I don't know what happened, but the cops came to the door, and Trevor's hiding his gun in the fucking ceiling.
Yeah.
He's like, don't open the door. Don't open. I'm like, I'm not fucking retarded. I'm not opening the door. And the cops going, let us in. I said, we're closed. I kept looking at the close sign. We're closed. We're closed. Another fucking hilarious story one time. Jill and Sam get into a fight, right? And I hope they're listening. I don't give a shit. They get into a fight.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. So he's at the studio with me getting smashed. We go to the club, we go to Privilege, comes back, and he's in the back, not the back of the, like where the booth is, the back. That's a rod, right?
Yeah.
So me and Timpano are sitting in the front, and dude, someone's banging on the door, and I'm like, oh, fuck, she's here. And he's out there with that girl, right? So I'm like, fuck. So we're not answering. He's there, she's banging and banging, and we're like, we're fucked. And we can't stop laughing. Right? So whatever, he ends up leaving. So I go back there to be like, yo, your girl's gone. Your girl's here, but he's not there. So I'm like, what the fuck? Whatever. End up going home. To find out that he went through the back door to go to that broad's house. He was the one banging on the door.
So if they are listening, busted.
I was like, oh shit, man. Like, fuck. It was hilarious. I was like, my bad. And we're not answering. We were laughing, but fuck. Yeah. So yes, poor guy, but whatever. I thought he was still back there. It happens, man.
I think he fought with her on purpose just to come hang out with you.
Bro, he's a junkie. How do you fight on purpose in that case? You sniff the line longer than the next, they're gonna fight, no?
Mm-hmm. They fought over who did it first.
Fuck, man.
What do you mean you did it without me? What the fuck?
He found my stash. Of course he found it. He's a junkie. We can sniff that from the block down. Like, come on. These guys, fuck. You would see the fighting, you're just like, oh my god.
This is not happening.
It was What's your best memory of the fucking studio, James?
Oh, the craziest memory was when we were doing the renovation. I was there with my ex at the time.
Oh yeah, I wasn't there that day. Listen to this.
Yeah, it was just me and her at that time. 'Cause I was gonna go in and do some work, I remember, and then we were all gonna meet there that night. And allegedly, the person that was above us was my cousin. He was my cousin.
Like he was at the time, like he dropped him. Or something.
Not my cousin no more, but you know.
no. So allegedly,
'Cause of the studio.
He was harboring a fugitive. So the next day, they came looking for this said fugitive, and I remember just being in there, sanding away at the drywall, full of drywall dust, and I hear the back door, the door that Joey's talking about,
Yeah.
the very very back behind the booth, like some loud thumping, and I thought it was a crackhead. So when I went to go open that back door, I swung it open like I was about to eat the person at the door. And I'm not
Just
kidding.
all the white powder on you, and
There was about 5 tactical squad goggles, tactical vests, helmet. One had an AK. For sure it was an AK. For sure it was like just they all loaded in my face at the same time. They had 12 gauge, and they all yell at the same time. What's your name? And bro,
this
I
isn't
was
cocaine. It's
I
drywall
was
dust.
like, my mouth just dropped, bro. There was no way. I don't care, like how much. Like I opened that door like I was a tough guy, bro. Like I was ready to start
And then you
some
shit your
with that
pants.
crackhead. And there's no mental toughness that you can set yourself up for to have like 4 or 5 barrels pointing down your face with guys that can legally put holes in your face this fucking big.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to them. You know what I mean? Like I knew right away they were cops. I knew how they were yelling, how they were dressed. You know what I mean? And I was able to chatter the fucking my name out of my mouth. They were like, no, not him. And they just go like this, bang, push me out of the way, and they just entered the studio, and they kept yelling, is there a way upstairs from here? Is there? And thank God there wasn't.
There wasn't, yeah.
And they just boom, out.
Wow.
Gone. And
Tried
the
to
thing is, I
break
remember
through the
I left in my
drywall.
van. I had left in my parents. I had the parents' van at the time because it had a bunch of tools in it at the time because we were doing the small rentals and stuff there. And I remember just leaving. They didn't check the van, nothing, man.
So weird, eh? Like when you look back at like a professional, you're like,
yeah, it was so weird, man, that they did that.
when we were bringing in materials, I remember borrowing my dad's van. We got all these 2x4s, and I remember finally because we were trying to close the door and the 2x4s were too long, and right when we turned it on to Rochester, one 2x4 slipped out, but I was right on the corner, right? So I turned the corner. I get out of the car to go get it. Some dude has it in his car through the window, bro, and drives off and stole my 2x4. This is the neighborhood we're in, by the way.
Oh yeah, man.
$2.10.
Rochester,
ran
baby.
with the
Rochester.
Rochester.
263 Rochester Street. It was crazy.
I
Man.
have that mixtape in the CD player of my truck, by the way.
I have
for real?
I found
Yeah.
it the other day too.
I have to get the Damien track. I need to rip it and send it to Caleb because that's his cousin.
Yeah.
We were talking back and
Good
forth
track.
about who's who, and he's like, oh, my cousin. I'm like, Damien. He's like, and he was all shocked. He's like, Damien. I'm like, yeah, he's super good but shy. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, he was at my studio, so we have a track with him. So,
Joe, did I ask you this already? Could you get your hands on Damien's tracks with Jones, or is that gone? Gone with the wind? I think I've asked you, and I think you told me that they're gone.
I think they're gone.
I don't
There's
think.
nothing.
I don't think he has anything of any sorts from back then.
It's all gone. It's all sold and gone over.
Like,
and
remember that
over.
mic, the Newman mic? Sold.
Yeah.
Like that's like, you know what I mean? Is he wasn't even making beats anymore. Like he wasn't doing anything. He was living in some guy's house in a room with a mattress on the floor with like a box. Like it got that bad.
That's sad, bro.
It got
That's
that bad.
sad, man. That's sad. Oh, that's sad. That's what a waste of talent, man.
And then I was like, because I remember being like, yo, man, you still making beats? Because in my mind, we just like through the podcast met like a billion artists. I was like, yo,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Let's start pumping out. And he was just like, yo, I gotta start over. I'm like, oh no, these kids are light years ahead of you now. You haven't kept up.
Yeah. You're
like,
gone, bud.
You're gonna make those beats that people are gonna be like, oh, that's from 1995.
That's right.
You know, that's what it's gonna turn out to be.
I made that shit on my iPhone the other day.
You know, and I was just like, oh no, I said I there's BeatStars, which is a website. I said, oh man, make some beats, but I kind of backpedaled out of what I wanted thinking about doing with him, and then I was like, yeah, feel free to make your own stuff and do this, but definitely a waste of talent. We saw a few wasted talents.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. But that some of them are worse than others, Joe. You know, and that Jones definitely one of them, man, because
Jones.
he was extremely, extremely talented. Dan, what are those the producers, bro? Like
Because
Dan Najim was another one.
Because they're geniuses and they're socially weird.
Yeah,
A genius painter is going to be weird.
talented guy.
Anyone that's an artist that's very, very good and artistic, which these guys were with
Music.
beats, with sound, right? Are socially awkward. Where I'm not good at these things, but I'm socially out there, right? I'm the one that's social. Right? So like sometimes we clash. Like Dan I always thought he was cool, but I told you I made fun of that one beat where he showed us a beat, Jesse. It was a wacko beat. And I'm not even saying it's not gonna be successful because there's some wacko shit out there. I could have said, yo, man, I don't know. You need to sell this to Outcast. It's a little out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, he shut down the whole fucking studio. It was a wrap. Do you remember, James? We were throwing a show at Babylon's.
Yes. Yeah.
We're throwing a show at Babylon's, and we need to
Yeah,
get fucking.
he didn't show to the show or something like that. He didn't
You
show
were
up.
supposed to DJ at the show. The deal was, Jesse, this guy's going to record us for free.
Okay.
My goal, because believe it or not, at this time on this team that we had, I was the least important. It's true. James made a few fucking beats. He knew what more was going on with the engineer. There was Meech and fucking Rise. Then there was just me. But then I said, okay, well, I gotta start making a footprint on this team. So that's when I end up getting the Babylon show, and I end up meeting up with Adam. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now we're all starting to have our own lane a little bit. That's what it was like. And I said, okay,
Everybody has a purpose.
Here's a deal, Dan. Dan was doing it like almost like a record label style. I said, listen, you get to record these guys for free. I'm gonna throw a major event, and the money goes to you. So. Right?
Yeah.
Because we can't pay for studio time right now.
Yeah.
But we also want to record at our fullest potential. He goes, deal. And he was a DJ. This guy's the sickest DJ I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, nasty.
You DJ the night, man. DJ the night, we'll give you the money. Bro, a month before the show, we're trying to get Rob's tracks now and meet your tracks. Bro, we can't get a hold of him. Dude, hunting. He sent us to some white guy's house to go get the instrumentals and shit like that. It was so weird with the backups. Dude, I ended up going in there. I'm like, and I'm you know how much I was savage back then. I wanted to beat up the little white kid, you know what I mean? So then I ended up going to a fucking house party, and then we got DJ Drastic at the time. He's big now, but he was a small DJ back then. And there was another dude I met at Carlton U. So I got these two guys to DJ the night. I think I managed to get it for free, to be honest with you. I don't even know how I pulled that off. And Dan Najim walks into Babylon's, bro. Hey, man. And I was like, what's up, man? What's up? And then he goes over to Rob. Rob's like, he's like, oh, Joe's mad. He's like, bro, you disappeared. Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck are you? You should be DJing.
Yeah.
We end up making about over $1,000 at the door.
Yeah, it was a successful night. Yeah, it was a good night.
That was his $1,000 that he walked away from.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like
Ding
we were
dong.
right. We all these tools.
And bro, $1,000 back then was more than $1,000
Oh my god.
now, man.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
All the tools fell into place. It was I bumped into James. James like, oh, me should work. I'm like, oh, Margaret Robin. And we're like, yo, let's do something together. Let's get together. Remember that, James? That's how it slowly.
Yeah.
And then you
That's
brought us
right.
over to Fat Dog Productions. That's how it.
That dog, yeah. Oh my god, the house on
The house.
Right.
Fat Dog Productions.
Right.
So James
Yeah.
takes us there, and then we're like, oh, we'll record together. We're like, okay, well, we might as well work together. What the fuck, you know? We had
Yeah.
two different guys, two different styles. I thought it was great. I
Yeah.
thought this is good. Me starts getting a little bit jealous because I held on to the money that week. Remember? Because it was Christmas time. I said, guys, go do the fucking holiday shit. We'll meet up. James was like, yeah, for sure. Rob's like, no problem. He's like, why is he holding the money? I don't fucking
Remember that,
steal.
bro. That's right. That's right.
And then you and him started to part ways a bit after that, a little bit after
Yeah,
that.
that's right.
And then James like, yo, do you mind if I still do stuff with you guys? We're like, absolutely. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
he went this way, and then it was us three at the end after that. But yeah, it was a little odd. We had something twice. We had something with James. I mean, with Dan Najim. And then that fell through, and then we had Jones. So then we had our own studio. So it felt like twice we could have launched something,
Yeah.
Just couldn't get there.
but
just
the
felt
artist
hard.
prevented us from launching. It wasn't our part.
Yeah.
I'm not the
I found the
artist.
studio worse, Joe. I found the studio worse than the Dan time because the studio we had the whole setup,
Yes.
the whole brick and mortar setup, man. It was
Yes.
there, and the flow was flowing.
Yes.
People were knocking at the door, and it was really burning. I remember at the time we had to start turning people away, and that's when the shit kind of started to go lopsided with Jones at the time. I remember.
Because Jones would be like, book as many people as you can, book as many. And then all of a sudden I come back, and it says he rescheduled everyone. And I remember,
it's like
whoa, whoa, whoa,
we had like 3-4 weeks booked solid. I remember.
yeah.
4
I
weeks
was like,
booked
why? She's
solid,
like, well, I
Monday
need some time off. I
Fridays.
said, but you said to book as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I need some time off. I'm like, okay, cool, but we still have rent to pay at the end of the month.
Yes.
1 week of no revenue is not. It's not going to help. We're charging too little. We were charging enough to run the fucking thing successfully, and
But-
to put money into our own product. That's what it
Yeah.
broke down to be, right? It was supposed to be put money in our own products, and then it was like, okay, things are going good. Mike's the graphic designer. Jones is the engineer. Me and James are more like the back guys, the management side. James at the time was more the hype man. And then it was like Rob wasn't even coming in to record. And the goal was to not own a music studio. It was to own a music studio to create an album.
For Rob, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the goal was. It was to create an album without us going to Fat Dog Productions paying $80 an hour.
That's right.
No. So I don't know if you remember this. I come in one time. Rob's not he's not recording. He has himself booked in. It's his handwriting on the calendar. And Jones is like, and Jones already wrote him off. Jones is like, yo, God, do you mind let's take this guy right now. Because there's a guy waiting. And I was like, man, bro, no offense. The studio's supposed to be meant for us. Like, fuck this guy, right? He's like, oh, man, 15 more minutes. I call Rob. He's ignoring me. I'm like, motherfucker. I said, take him. I get in my car, bro. I drive to fucking Rob's house. Up the fucking stairs in the apartment. No, I see his girl on the way out, Shannon. And I go, where the fuck is he? And she's like, at one point she hated him. She was like, he's upstairs. She wanted me to beat him up, She's like,
Yeah.
bang on the door, bro. He opens the door. He's all like, oh, I'm like, where the fuck? Studio time. And dude, he went to the bathroom and he wouldn't come out. What? So
I do remember, Joe. I do remember that, man.
I come down the fucking stairs. I look at Shannon. I said, you know what, man? Tell him to give me a call when he gets his fucking shit together. And I left. So now I'm at a studio, $25 sessions with paying an engineer. This isn't my money pit. This isn't like money's not coming out of the fucking skies. I'm sitting there going, we're doing the studio to make sure we pay for all the expenses to have an album. So I'm sitting there going, we're busy as fuck, making no money.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? So then Rob fucking, he calls me, and I remember pushing him on the couch. I remember losing it on him a few times.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
get your
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
shit together, because this is not what I wanted to do.
No.
This isn't it. I don't want to sit in a room with fucking Mike and fucking Jones making nothing, by the way, because I have to be there.
Jones was taking the full $25
No,
an
he
hour.
was taking 15.
Oh,
But he was,
yeah.
but he was selling beats at Folk Pit Pops.
Yes.
$10 came to us to pay for rent and hydro, which, bro, like, so what? An 8-hour day, 10-hour day, it's $100. Okay, sure, it comes up to a bit of money at the end of the thing, but there's still a lot of fucking expenses.
Yes.
Hydro's running fucking steep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And the building fucking sucked.
The bills
Yeah,
don't stop.
yeah,
The
yeah.
bills don't stop, right? They
You know,
just
we
keep
had the 1-800 number, telephone number.
Yeah,
Remember?
man.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
man.
There's expenses, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So it was fucking disaster at the end. It went from being the coolest thing, the rise and fall of that fucking studio. That's pretty much what it was.
The rise and fall.
Yeah, rise and he fell. Fuck. Fuck. And you know what, man? As a grown man, how the fuck do you not take responsibility of that fall? Even if we failed together, I will accept it. Even if we created an album and videos and we failed as a team, I'm all good.
Yeah.
One person crumbles the fucking empire.
Yeah.
I'm like, what and people, yo, do you want to manage me? I never want to be in that fucking position again. If it's not me doing something,
Yeah.
I can't be a part of it.
Somebody else, yeah.
I can't be a part of it no more. I can't, because the next guy I'm gonna beat the living shit out of. Like, you know, and people are like, "Oh, I can't believe you guys were still friends." I said, "Yo, I put that aside and I had to like,
Eat it.
you know what I mean, and pretend to not almost talk about it."
Yeah.
But it was one of those like, and I would look at him dead in the face. I'm sitting there going, "You don't even give a flying fuck the shit I did." Every fucking day, 7 days a week, I'm sitting there. You know what I mean? With fucking thugs coming in left, right, and center.
Yeah,
like,
man. Yeah.
telling people I'm going to stab them in the eye with a fucking pen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck that. But anyways, I want to finish this podcast with a quick funny story because that's what I like to do here on the happy hour with my boys.
Yep.
So Jesse already knows this, but he doesn't know what I'm going to say, but he knows the story. So last weekend, there's a friend that comes down. He's not a friend. He's
Oh shit! Yeah.
I don't know. Like we met these people in Cuba, and he comes down every once. He comes and meets his dad here every once in a while. He calls me. He's like, "Hey man, what do you?" Usually we just have a quick beer, a quick, hey, how's it going? How are things? And we fuck off. So we have a couple beers at Boston Pizza, and then he goes, "What are you doing after?" I'm like, "I'm supposed to have a couple beers with my pops." He met my pops one of the last times in Cuba.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, do you mind if I come?" I said, "No, no problem. What do you need?" I go to the liquor store, I buy everyone booze. You know how you are when you're a host, right? You're coming to my house. Buy the booze. I pick him up. We come back. I said, "Oh fuck, I'll Uber you home." We have some drinks, right? Sends his wife. Me and his wife get along. He sends a picture of me. And she's like, he goes, my wife really likes you because usually I'm out with some boys. She always tells me, hurry up, be careful, come home. But with you, she's like, have fun. It's really appreciative. That's really nice of her. We're having some drinks. It's about 12 o'clock now. We're really in now, right? And he turns around, James, and looks at me and says, I can kick your ass, right? And the next words out of his mouth, I said,
I hope he's watching or sees this so bad.
I said, no. Right. No,
I didn't know.
Not a chance.
Not even angry. You misread this play. No.
Yeah, no.
He goes, I'm a black belt karate.
And we all know what that means. I'm a black bullshitter.
You probably got it at the age of 18.
Yep.
You haven't used it.
Not
I'm
even.
like, I'm a black belt at destroying people. Like, that's what I do. So the best part is I look over at my dad and my dad goes, he starts laughing.
And boy, Roger. Yes.
Oh, I know that. I know that laugh too.
Okay, so my question, because it happens more often than some, why me? Why am I like, why do I get this shit?
You attract all the crazies, Joe.
Okay, I get the crazies, but first of all, now this is what's going through my head. Why did he say it? Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. How long did you think this?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
couldn't be the first time.
Well, that's since the day he met you, man, for sure. That's for
what
sure.
What the fuck? And dude, I was not aggressive. I'm fucking laughing. I'm giving beers. I never flex. I don't flex.
It's not the first time he's had beers with him either.
I don't flex on people. I don't.
The guy's at your house, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, like coming into his castle and trying to be like take over.
That's crazy, man. That's so much. Well, is he still alive?
Well, I let that one slide because my parents were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trust me, because I'm a very competitive human being. I would have been, let's go in the back.
Let's go and do it up.
And when I'm done, I'll pick you up and I'll give you a beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not going to be that long. You know what I mean?
No.
Like,
Yeah.
I just want to know in your mental capacity of saying, I'm a black belt karate. When I'm like, cool, I fucked up a lot of people in my life. I fought multiple people. I've got hit with stools in the back. Like, there's no dojo that teaches that shit.
No.
Yeah.
James, me and James go downtown one time, right? And I when I go downtown, I got to be smashed. Somehow I'm smashed. I'm more mellow. When I go sober, I'm anxiety mode, right? He's like, yo, let's go to Pita Pit. We go down to fucking Pita Pit.
I miss that place so much.
We're parked right in front of like where Factory used to be, whatever the fucking club it was at then or now, whatever. So we get into James's truck and this fight breaks out and it hits his truck. And I yell, motherfucker. And I get out. And I grabbed this group and I chucked them all to the ground. They get up and plead their case to me on why they were. I'm like, I don't care. Go with the fucking truck. Go kill each other.
The two guys that were gonna beef are now both pleading their case.
Like I'm a fucking judge or something. I'm like, guys, go over there. Even this guy can't stop laughing. He's like, you threw them all on the ground. I'm like, oh my god. But guys, we can hear, and I've never been walking around. I don't introduce myself as a tough guy. Some people will mistake my laughs and stuff and good times as a weakness. I don't drink to look for a fight. I actually drink to have the best time of my life. Those are my priorities. No. But when you challenge me to a fucking fight, trust me, if I haven't, it's in my soul and I won't forget it. And I will still take that challenge any day of the goddamn week. Sign the waiver. Don't call the cops. All right. That's it. That's it. My brain was like, what the fuck is going on? So I don't know, man. we end up leaving the house. We played a game of pool. We're distracted by D. D's a good distractor.
Yeah.
You know? But like, trust me, when I woke up hungover, woke up fucked up, that's the first thing I thought about. James, a man comes into your house. You do all that cooking. You bust out the good bottle. And he goes, you know what, James?
I kick your ass.
Kick your ass.
That's fucked up, bro.
Why would a man say that?
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Because you're right. How
And then on
long,
top
how
of
long
it, why
has
would
he been
say it
thinking
to
that,
somebody
right?
He
Like,
would lose to. Like, you know, it's another thing too. There's no way he could possibly believe that. There's no way. There's no way, bro. Come on.
Oh,
maybe
my God.
maybe he had a bad day and he was looking for an ass kicking. Fuck.
Liquid courage at a whole nother level, bro. That's
I don't
It
know,
has to
man.
be.
Some
It
people
has
like
to.
punishment, man. I don't know, man. That's insane. And maybe
Ooh,
because
maybe
his wife likes
likes
you.
you.
I would-
We mentioned that before.
Yeah,
we
we've
get along
mentioned that.
very, very well.
yeah. So it could be a
think-
little jealousy.
I think the first time we met, we got along with her.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit skeptical, but
Yeah.
you know, but over the years, he ended up.
He mellowed out, yeah.
I was cool with that. I was, you know what I mean? Ego, but I think it's like,
fucking rude, bro. That's rude. That's rude.
Like, you've been to their house, dude.
yes,
Rude.
You've been to their
think
house.
I was there.
This is not the second.
Man, I would have slapped him.
It's not the first time we've had drinks with the
I-
guy.
it's- I
Like
think
we had
it's
it at Boston Pizza. We met up with
if
him
it
before.
wasn't mom and dad sitting there,
Yeah.
it would have been
I'm
like,
surprised
well-
Dad didn't give him a slap.
what do you want
Well-
dad to do at 70, man? No one wants the cops at the house, bro.
Yeah. True.
You know what I
that.
mean?
True
No
that.
one wants the cops at the house.
If it was anywhere else, I think he would have got the Joey warning slap.
No. I don't warning slap people I know. I warning slap the strangers that act tough.
True.
Yeah.
I will because I'm a fair fucking human being. I will be like, if you really think so, we can do it as a sport in the parking lot outside. Like, and
That's actually very cool of you, Joe, to actually think like that, man. That's very grounded, bro.
because like it's happened to me back in the day, and I remember being like, "Yo, do you want to go outside? I mean, we'll have a beer after." You know what I mean? Sometimes two men have to go because I don't have anything to fucking prove. Trust me. But obviously someone else does.
Yeah. Maybe Joe, because you're like a final boss. You're a big contender. You know
But
what I mean?
but he doesn't
So they
know
feel
me
like-
well enough because I think if he knows every story told not by me, by the way, by y'all.
Yeah.
If I whip out 8 of you guys and you guys go on a field day on stuff that happened, not my stories, I won't even exaggerate. Actually, I'll downplay most of these fucking things. I would downplay it. I think that he would his little black belt, Mr. Miyagi black belt, he would decline that comment. That's all I'm saying.
We're gonna call him Cobra Kai.
Because I remember even years ago, we were in our mid-20s. James was talking about something in front of a girl. Remember? And I said, James, don't say that in front of her, man. He's like, oh, my bad. I see it. I see your point. I don't even talk about the things I did. You know what I mean? I don't even think it sounds cool at this age. But trust me, can I do these things? 100%. You know? And that's where I was just like, holy fuck, this guy must mistake. He must see me as a fucking pussy or something. It was like the last bouncer I beat up at Tailgaters. Did he think he was tough because I was the DJ?
Yeah.
Like, was there a miscommunication?
Like you had no idea what you did before that.
I was like, this guy's bananas. You know what I mean? So that's
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Oh, Carmelou just joined the Instagram.
Oh, what's up, Carm?
Carm, I see you on Instagram. I see you right here on my computer.
I know
Comment.
you're watching. You're
Put
creeping.
something. Or I'm going to tell them an embarrassing story about you.
Yeah. And it's gonna be a little bit.
I don't even know.
lightning.
It might not even be a true story, but who gives a shit?
Make a comment card. Make a comment card.
Like this one time.
Yeah, I told Carm. So Carm's got to do this with us soon. We've talked about it not too long ago. Carm's always fun to have on, man. Maybe we should. He's on the train to TO. What's up, boys? Yeah, what up, man? What up, Carm?
What up, Carm?
I know he's going there for work, seeing his cousin Mike. But you know what? Carm, you got on too late. We're getting off. Fuck you.
Yeah.
It is
We've
what
been
it
out
is.
for an hour and a bit.
But yeah, so Carm's definitely gonna get on. We gotta do what we'll do, man. Maybe we should jot down some funny ass stories and and story times. Even
Call
us
it like
or-
blast from the past or something.
or even if it has nothing to do with all of us together, maybe even something in general or something, you
Individuals.
know. I think people like to listen to those stories. They're always a part of it. Who else just joined? That was a few people. But anyways, you guys could all fucking beat it. Guys, it was great fucking shooting the shit with you boys. It's always fun.
Yes.
Dana, we always appreciate you coming and commenting.
Always, Dana. Thank you.
Dana, maybe you know what? We're gonna send you an invite to Cuba April 3rd.
Absolutely.
You probably have to come with us if you can pull it off. It is what it is. Those stories might not come on podcast. We don't know. You know what I mean? All right, boys. Have yourself a good